All right, now we're going to look at stomach. So if I draw this stomach here, this J-shaped curvature located on the left side of your body, okay? Here, looks like, what does it look like? It looks like a cashew. All right, so it looks like a cashew, a giant cashew, all right? And it's connected via the esophagus and the small intestine, right? So we said before in the oral phase, wherever all the saliva comes in, creates this mesh of food. We call that what? We call that bolus, right? So you have bolus. Bolus goes down the esophagus and enters the stomach. So the first valve, so the digestive system is regulated by a lot of these valve systems, or we call them sphincters, is this first little sphincter here that allows the bolus to enter the stomach. This is called the cardiac sphincter. People call it cardiac. Also, another name for it is the lower esophageal sphincter, right? Whenever the food needs to exit at this end into the small intestine, this is called the pyloric sphincter. All right. So these two sphincters play a big role in controlling the movement of this material in and out of the stomach, right? Now, if we look at the actual structures here, so this little protrusion here, so let me draw a little bit better here. This is called the fundus, right? And the fundus is a structural protrusion of the stomach. This region here, if we look at the rest of the body of the stomach, is actually called the body of the stomach. Here. And another thing you have to realize too is if you ever decide to open up like a human body or a cat or something or a turtle, any kind of animal, and you want to observe their stomach, when you open it up, you notice that there's these little folds. These folds are called rugae. Okay? Rugae's folds allow for the expansion and contraction of the stomach, right? So if you decide, I want to fast and not eat any food for 5 days, because I want to lose weight. I don't recommend it, but, you will lose weight, right? So these rugae allow for the actual stomach to contract. So have you ever heard somebody say, I feel like my stomach is really small right now, right? Because their stomach may actually be physically smaller than their actual normal self, right? So rugae allow for this contraction and expansion of the actual stomach, right? In the stomach, you have all these specific types of cells, these enzymes, but one really important component is the hydrochloric acid. So let's see. Hydrochloric acid, HCl, right? This, first of all, plays a big role in your innate immunity, right? So innate immune system is basically if you eat something that has some kind of parasite or pathogen, it bypasses your oral cavity from all the immunity that you have, goes down the esophagus, now it enters the stomach. And now it thinks, oh, hey, I'm going to infect the whole body. No, you have all this stomach acid that is present that allows for the pathogen to actually either die, digest, dissolve something, right? And all takes place. Hydrochloric acid also plays a big role in digestion and breaking down these molecules, right? So the bolus comes from the esophagus and enters the stomach where you have hydrochloric acid. And now, with this bolus here that is being broken down, you have different enzymes also that help for the breakdown of actual proteins, the sugars, and carbohydrates. After all this is taking place, now the material, the original bolus now, it needs to leave the stomach through the pyloric sphincter. And as it leaves, it enters the small intestine. That material now is called chyme.